Okay, so you've probably heard all about alpha and beta males, right? But there's this other archetype that plays a totally different game. They don't fight evil head-on with force. Nope, they use silence to make it implode on itself. Today, we're diving deep into the sigma male, a personality type that has mastered the art of psychological warfare, often without saying a single word.
This quote right here, it absolutely nails the entire strategy. I mean, think about it. If you try to wrestle with a shadow, what happens? You just get exhausted. The shadow feeds on your struggle. The Sigma gets this. They don't even bother engaging in the fight. They just flip the switch. They turn on the light, and suddenly all the cracks, all the lies, all the weaknesses that evil needs to survive are just there, exposed for everyone to see.
So who are these guys, these quiet architects of karma? Well, they're described as being incredibly self-aware, but also emotionally detached. A great way to picture it is like emotional Teflon. You can throw all the drama, all the manipulation, all the negativity you want at them, and it just slides right off. Nothing sticks. It's almost as if their very presence, their own sense of calm, causes corruption to just break down around them. And that brings us to our first big idea, the sheer power of just being there. It's not about making big moves or having dramatic confrontations. It's about how a Sigma's calm, observant nature can completely unravel a web of lies before a single word is even spoken. Now, this is where it gets really fascinating. The core of their strategy is inaction. You see, manipulative evil is like a parasite. It needs a reaction from you. It feeds on your fear, your anger, your chaos. That's what makes it feel powerful. And the Sigma? He understands this completely. And so he simply refuses to play along. He refuses to feed it.
Just look at this breakdown. It's perfect. The manipulator's whole game is to provoke chaos. The Sigma's response? He just watches, silently. The manipulator desperately tries to get a reaction, any reaction. And what do they get? Complete indifference. They want to create drama, to be the center of the storm, and the Sigma just withdraws his attention. For a manipulator, that's absolutely devastating. Their entire playbook becomes useless.
And don't get it twisted, this isn't passive. It's a very deliberate three-step strategy. Step 1, you refuse to take the bait. Don't engage with their provocations. Step 2, you withdraw all of your emotional attention. You're literally cutting off the parasite's food source. And then, step 3, you just let them burn themselves out. Without any fuel from you, that fire is just going to exhaust itself.
This leads to a really powerful effect we can call the psychological mirror. By being so calm and non-reactive, the Sigma doesn't judge, he doesn't accuse. He simply becomes a mirror. And in that mirror, the manipulator is forced to see their own toxic energy reflected right back at them. They have to confront their own ugliness, their own desperation. And for them, that is a profoundly disturbing experience.
So you're probably asking, how is this even possible? How can someone stay that calm under pressure? Well, it all comes down to the mindset. The real weapon here isn't what they do, or, more accurately, what they don't do. It's about turning their internal state into a massive external advantage, and it all begins with how they handle negative experiences. So, I want you to really think about this for a second. When someone attacks you, or betrays you, or tries to hurt you, what do you do with that pain? Most of us, we react, right? We lash out, or we crumble. But the Sigma's approach, it's something else entirely. They transform it. They take every insult, every manipulative tactic, every attempt to cause harm, and they turn it into raw material. That pain doesn't become a wound. It becomes a blueprint. It's treated like data that reveals the attacker's patterns, their motives, their weaknesses, and that, in turn, helps them neutralize the threat with absolute precision. This is such a critical point. Manipulators need you to be afraid, because fear gives them control. But instead of running from fear, the Sigma dissects it. They study it. They figure out what causes it, what triggers it. And once you fully understand your fear, it just loses its power over you. It's not a weapon anymore. Instead, it becomes a map, showing you exactly where the manipulator is trying to pull the strings. So where does all this lead? What's the end game? Well, it leads to a victory, without ever having to fight. The entire Sigma approach is about redefining what power even is. It's not about dominating other people. It's about mastering yourself to such a degree that you become untouchable. And you can see the difference so clearly here. Traditional power is all about force, domination, big flashy victories, control. But Sigma power? It's found in detachment, in restraint. in quiet observation. By refusing to even play the game of intimidation, they make the whole thing pointless. So, let's just do a quick recap of the toolkit we've been talking about. It all starts with illuminating the truth instead of fighting the lie. It's about starving that negativity with your indifference and mirroring an opponent's toxic energy right back at them. It's turning your own pain into a strategy, choosing to observe instead of reacting, and ultimately exposing their weakness through your own incredible restraint.
And the final outcome of all this is, it's profound. It's not just that the manipulator loses the game, it's that their entire illusion of being smarter, of being stronger, of being in control is completely shattered. They don't just fail, they collapse under the weight of their own actions, and they realize their so-called power was nothing but a fragile delusion all along.
Which, of course, leaves us with one last, pretty deep question to think about. This whole strategy is built on a foundation of detachment. So is this kind of self-mastery a profound form of strength? Or is it really, at its core, a refusal to truly connect with the world around you? Something to chew on.